Before I start, let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever been defined by a stereotype? Well, stereotypes today have defined how people live because every time we meet someone, we're more likely to come up with stereotypes in order for us to understand them better. Well, here are some few stereotypes I've heard myself, that if you have frizzy hair, you're more likely to be seen as careless. And if you wear boots and chains, you're more likely to be perceived as someone who's also always cursing. And bursting through the doors is the black African-American woman who is perceived as loud and rude. You see, today, stereotypes have become something that we always need to rely on. Well, here are some of few stereotypes that I've gone through, and I'll express it through a spoken word. I'm an African child, and before you think that I enjoy swallowing on the breasts of cows and that every pathway is an opportunity to practice on my lower body, remember that I merely come from a long chain of generation that has survived this world that is me, and that the people who are seen to be governing my future, they're governing the amount of money that is seen in their pockets. Remember that just because that I live in a continent known as Africa, yes, it's a continent, not a country, will not be seen as something that I need to hold back, that I'm seen as illiterate, that I have nothing more than this African piece of me. I'm a Christian, and before you think that I go knocking on the doors of strangers with the hopes of ingraining my beliefs onto others, remember that I merely believe in a God so powerful and so big to give you the certainty of His uncertainty, and that you are not alone from the moment that your heart throbs with life to ignite the feeling that you were never alone yourself. I'm a teenager, and before you think that my ignorance runs kilometers on all planets, and remember that my imagination is as vast as VY Canis Majoris, with the depths as deep as the black hole, and life expectancies as long as the Indian Ocean. Remember that all these factors are looked down upon us by men and women who look down upon us and think that we seek to advance in years with arrogance with no evidence to support it. Remember that the number that states my existence does not determine my understanding and knowledge to pancreatic cancer, but rather that my understanding to pancreatic cancer, or the cracking code of who came first, the chicken or the egg, because what should come first is your confidence in us to do so. I'm black, and before you think that the color of my skin already indicates that my existence is to embrace gang work and rebel to a society of a grudge that happened before my existence touched the soil of the ground, remember that my capabilities are not defined by the amount of natural sunblock that's spread across my body. Remember that men and women who stood up for my rights will always and forever be the heroes that I look up to today, and that it was not just a dream that he thought of, but actually my freedom, that I stand here before and I look upon you and I'll tell you that I am a free black woman. I'm an ADHD patient, and before you think that I'm compelled to lose sanity, and that my limitation to my maintenance of concentration is a limitation for me to achieving educational success, remember that this addition in my life does not automatically give you the cue to pity me or give you a PhD in doctorate doctorate for you to explain to me what I'm to expect in life, because this disorder is not something that I look upon and think, I will never be enough, because I will. I'm a human being. And just like you, I have arms that swing, I have a smile that broadens, and I have a brain that thinks, and just like you, I hope to live tomorrow, to look past these stereotypes, to look past these limitations that people will call upon me, and to be me. and I hope you will too. Thank you.